So in my first video on the Sonic 30th anniversary leaks, I analyzed all the leaks the community had received, and I came to the conclusion at the time that it wasn't actually Zippo and that the leaks were likely fake. But a lot has changed in the past few days since that. Zippo went on the Reset Era forum to confirm that the Sonic leaks were from him on his actual verified account. So what does this mean? Well, I mean, it confirms the leaks are actually really coming from Zippo. And it also confirms that Zippo is indeed not an English major. This Zippo person decided to write their entire life story in this Sonic leak. But it removes any doubt I had that this was not the real Zippo and is a direct confirmation. I've heard some people mumbling around recently saying Zippo's vague and gets lucky with his predictions and is sometimes wrong, but there's no clear line. I'm seeing a lot of support and criticism on both sides, but can't find real significant examples of him being totally wrong or totally right. And maybe that's just part of what happens when you're named after an already existing very popular product and the only outlets covering you are D-tier games journalists. No offense to the real games journalists, but I'm uncertain these ones were even written by people. He has accurately leaked several Nintendo Directs. However, he recently got one wrong that I personally cross-referenced myself, because people love to report the leak, but nobody loves to report when they're wrong. Now keep in mind, this is the only inconsistency I went out looking for. So he was talking about Super Mario 3D All-Stars before it released, and he says Super Mario 64 will run widescreen for the very first time, but this didn't happen. It was released in its beautiful 4:3 form, and I still love it that way. Body positivity. But in this same leak, he did correctly leak the new Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, so it's really hard to tell. Maybe he just got the small detail wrong and he got the other parts right, but to acknowledge his criticism, this very well could just be a vague prediction, as Nintendo likes to add at least some big selling point when porting an older game over, which would explain why he thought Super Mario 64 was going to be widescreen. Because honestly, Nintendo kind of dropped the ball and didn't add that extra little glossy finish to it like they usually do. But you do have to acknowledge there must be some level of validity to what he says, because if Nintendo is going to officially go out there and shut him down, then he must be doing something to warrant that. Because they're not just shutting down people predicting stuff. There's tons of people out there writing fake leaks, and I highly doubt they would even care about a completely fake one, or this entire website would be shut down. So there's lots of promise in this for the future of Sonic. If all the projects are indeed real, I am most excited for this PC collection. It lines up with the LinkedIn leak, so it has a high chance of being real regardless. Zippo's blog says he speculates it will include Sonic Advance, Sonic R, and Sonic Pocket Adventure. While I would be so hyped for a bunch of currently unplayable Sonic games ported to PC, maybe not these ones first. When I think of the ones I can't currently play, I think Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Unleashed, Colors, and a few others. Sonic Advance is amazing, but it's super easy to emulate, as Game Boy emulators are nothing new, and I have one on my phone. They're everywhere. I would much rather have the newer games that can't be emulated as well, or are downright impossible. I literally have only played the PS2 port of Sonic Unleashed for 10 minutes and never got to play it again. I would love to be able to go and experience that game now on modern hardware, as I know the PS2 port is one of the worst ways to play, but alas, I cannot. I mean, I know it's backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X, but I don't have a Series X. I have a big computer. So this still leaves a lot of questions, such as if Sega is moving the Sonic brand to the US, and with Aaron Weber having just moved to Japan, maybe he's working up higher at Sega and not in the Sonic division, since we have to remember he wasn't always there and has worked on multiple IPs in the past. It seemed like he was in a position to go and have more direct control and input in the entire Sonic franchise. But if this is all true, maybe he's working at Sega on some totally different project, or even an original project for him to lead. Who knows? If this is the case, it definitely doesn't currently look good for his future with the Sonic franchise, which is really disappointing considering how much of a voice for the community he was and brought in direct change that was never done before. I really like the socials, but I have to impartially say that it has lost a lot of what drew in people that it had before. A lot of the humor in the Sonic socials has definitely gone much under the radar over the years. And I mean that criticism in the nicest way possible, because everyone over there really does seem lovely and funny, and maybe there's just more restrictions on what they're able to do, because it seemed almost unchecked in the earlier days. But regardless, this is all a topic for another day. So I wanted to get this out because I felt like it was only right to correct the record and let everyone know that Zippo has confirmed these are his leaks. I also want to give a big shout out to Freggy, I think that's how it's said, of the Sonic and Knuckles show for blasting the proof all over Twitter, because let's be honest, me and every other Sonic tuber wouldn't have even seen this new info if it weren't for him. I showed this info to some of my friends and they still didn't even know. They were like, what? All right, with so much news, I can almost certainly say you'll see me in a couple days. To keep up with everything Sonic, subscribe and follow on Twitter, the Mimi and the Sonic Me. I've been starting the Sonic Show Discord back up, and I'm going to do a Sonic movie watch party sometime there. I'm going to link it in the description. I don't have a set time and date yet, but it's going to be a ton of fun. Ending this with lots of love. Peace.